Hello everybody, my name is Benny and welcome to the Fool's Apprentice. So today I have decided to do a video. I don't think I've seen this particular video. I've seen variations of it, but I see a lot of people talking about their top 10 decks that they can't live without. And I just thought, well, what decks couldn't I live without? And then I started thinking, like, if there was a fire in my home, what decks would I save? Because I wouldn't have time to empty these shelves and get the boxes and get everything else, get my dogs out and, all the things that I needed. So, like, what would I take? And then how many would that be? So I decided that I was going to go through my collection, because I just recently did, since I did my tarot collection and oracle collection. And I was going to pick the 5 decks. 5. Not 10. But 5 decks that I would save if there was a fire and I could not repurchase any of them. So 5 decks, none of them can be repurchased. They're out of print. The apocalypse has occurred and I got 5 decks. I thought that it was going to be much easier than it was. It was challenging. There are some decks, nope, 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 nope. And then you're like, oh no, this one's got to be it. And then this one's got to be it. Oh yeah, that one's got to stay in there. Well, this one's got to stay in there too. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, I already got 5, but this one needs to be in there. And this one needs to be, I can't live without this one. And before you knew it, I had like 12 decks or so. And I was like, oh my gosh, which ones should I save? And so I had to really think. And so if there was really a fire, I don't know which, I would have probably ended up with none of the ones I wanted. What I should have done is I should have put them all here and then let's decide. You know what? No, we're not going to do that. But that would be interesting because I have the decks that I'm going to save plus the decks that were going to be on my list but didn't make it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the decks that didn't make it, and then I'll show you the decks that I'd have to save. And I was surprised with a few of them. I was surprised with the ones I was really willing to let go when it was all said and done. So, without further ado, let's flip the camera over and we'll get started. Okay. Some of these, I think, several of you are going to be like, no, Benny, no, you can't let it go. And I felt like that on the inside. I was like, no, I can't believe that I'm going to have to let this one go. But remember, I get 5, not 10, 5. And so it just really saddened me that I would never see these decks, these cards, ever again. Because remember, they're out of print and I will never be able to purchase them again. So the first one is the Somnia Tarot. Oh my gosh. This deck is amazing. However, I feel for the person that I am, this deck really isn't going to fit what I need because this deck is just really, really dark for me. It's something that I would use for a real serious reading, maybe some shadow work, even though I don't know what shadow work is yet. Well, I have an idea, but I don't know how it works. And so I just couldn't take it with me because it wouldn't be used as often as I would like. And with only 5 decks, the Somnia has to go. Okay. I could hear people's coffee glasses, teacups, drinks fall on the ground and glass shattering when I show you this deck. And it is the beloved, and I could never remember the name, the Yokai Yochi Tarot deck. Oh my God, this is such a beautiful deck, and I was so fortunate to get it. However, if I had a bigger guidebook that really went into each card and every entity in this card, it would have had a better chance. Unfortunately, there just isn't enough in the guidebook for me to justify taking this card. I mean, this deck, because eventually I would be limited. So as much as I love this deck, the imagery, the colors, because they're very simple, you know, the card stock, this one would have to go, guys. I'm so sorry if this is one of your top 5, but I just can't. Like right now, we're being very cutthroat. And so this throat got cut. Okay, here's another one that I think is gonna really really rattle people, really upset people. That maybe somebody who cleaned up their mess and got another cup of coffee is gonna have another accident. But it is the Lobanco Tarot. Like, I know, guys. I know. The artwork is stunning. There is, I think, enough information in the guidebook to work. There's a lot of detail in there. But when it comes to it, the artwork for me in this deck did not resonate as much as some of the other decks that actually did make my top 5. And then when you see my top 5, you're going to be going, "Are you kidding me? The Lobanco should have been on the top 5." But, you know, everybody has their own needs, their own wants, and decks that really fit their personality and how they want to use them. And unfortunate, the Lobanco would have to go. Yeah. Bye, Lobanco. Bye. And then here's another one. I'm telling you guys, I had this little pile, and I just couldn't believe that some of these I wasn't going to take. The next one is the Green Glyphs Tarot. I thought that this was going to make the list. But, you know, it didn't. It just didn't. It just didn't speak to me like the others did. Like, I love this deck. It's beautiful. I like the card size, easy to carry. The imagery is beautiful. The colors are just like perfect for me. But it lost out in a showdown. It just didn't make it. And so it perished in the fire, guys. I'm so sorry. All right. Oh my gosh. Man, let me tell you, this one was rough. This one was rough. Please don't lose it with me. Please. Okay? This is just for me. It is the Oak, Ash, and Thorn. No, Benny, no! Yeah, guys. It's just, let me tell you, I love animal decks. I have animal oracle decks. I have other tarot decks that are animal based. This is my number 1. I love it for fall and winter, but I just couldn't sacrifice any of the others. I just, oh my gosh, you know, it had to go. It just had to go. I feel like I'm mourning. All right. Now, for many of you, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, that one can go. That wouldn't be saved. That's not even on my list. That's not even in my collection. So, yeah, that one's an easy one. Let it go, Ben. And it's the new Choice Tarot de Marseille. I love this deck. I haven't used it yet because I don't know very much about Marseille. But this is a deck that I really wanted it because I was like, I need to keep something from my community in my collection, something that represents the LGBT community. That was very, very important to me. Culturally speaking, I think many of us have decks that really resonate because of the cultures that we come from. And LGBT is very, very important to me because it's a big part of who I am in my life. It's not the only thing that I am in my life, but yeah, it had to go because I have another one that can take its place. So the Neo Choice Tarot de Marseille had to go. All right, guys, we got 3 more. And I will tell you, the 2 of these really kind of surprised me that I really thought that like they're the first 2 that I pulled out, and then there were last 2 that I took out. And they actually go together. It's the Spirit Animal Oracle and the Mystic Shaman Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. These decks work so well together. They really give me everything I need to work. Like, I use tarot and oracle cards in a spiritual practice that I do every morning. And these 2 really fit that bill for me. And I use these generally during the fall and winter, because that's just when it resonates with me the most. That's where I get the most comfort spiritually. They're mass market, you know. Now remember, they're all going to be out of print. If there's a fire, which 5 would I pick? Because then it would be easy to get rid of these and just rebuying them. But no, the decks all, I had to understand it. I came into this video with the idea that all decks would perish and we would never be able to purchase another deck ever again. And this was really, really hard for me to let go. But I can't have one without the other. They have to go together. And when it was all said and done, I did a video recently where I talked, my Oracle collection, I think it was, where I talked about really was more an Oracle person than I was a tarot person at this point in my journey. And this really, really kind of shook me and verified that, no, Benny, you're a tarot person over an oracle person, because I didn't save any oracle cards. And I will tell you, for me, that was a really huge surprise. So, these have to go. And then my last one, oh my gosh, is my Mysteries of Mary Tarot. Now, I really struggled with this because every December, I say every December like I've been doing it for years. Last December, and my goal is every December, is to use this deck only. This December, I'm going to be using it in conjunction with the Tarot Volatile because of the fact that I'm doing a deep dive and study with the Tarot Volatile. So I'm going to be using this like an Oracle deck where I do a 1-card draw in the mornings when I'm sitting, you know, in my spiritual space. But I had a couple issues in wanting to let this go. One is, it's the Virgin Mary. And I have a really, really special connection with her. And, gosh, I'm getting emotional with the idea that I would have to let this deck go. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I can, guys. I don't know if I could let her go. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna be able to let her go. So I'm gonna put, I know it's like, Benny, are you really getting emotional? And the answer is yes, I really am. Okay. So, in no particular order, but I'm gonna save the one that if I had to only have one, which one it would be. I would save the Tarot of the Abyss. Let me tell you guys, this deck is amazing. It's mass market. If you don't have this deck, I highly recommend that you get it. This deck is stunning. The detail is beyond words. And the guidebook, her perspective on the cards are so great. Like, she makes me think of each deck differently than I normally would have. And like the card stock, it's nothing special. It's not, but it's good card stock for what it is, for mass market. The backs, do they excite me? No. But the images are amazing. I love this deck. I think this deck has a lot to offer. There's one of the reasons I picked this deck is the guidebook is one, but there is so much that you could, like, this is a study deck. This is a deck that you could literally sit down with for decades and study this and continue to learn. So this definitely was a deck that needed to be in my top 5. And it's my only black and white deck, which I think is really cool. So yeah, that Tarot of the Abyss, who knew? And I know somebody started watching my video going, what? Really? I'm like, yep, really. Okay, everybody should have guessed this one. If you've seen enough of my videos, you should know that this is the one. The Terra Volatile. And it's really Terra Volatile. Like, really, do I have to go into this deck? Everything about this deck is amazing. I like the color, I like the art, I like the imagery, I like the representations of each card. I mean, it just feels very refined. It feels classic. It feels formal. It feels very grounded. I mean, there is so much. And you know, another thing is, I just thought about it like literally right now. I can exchange cards because I have the expansion pack. And so if I need to change it up because, you know, I just feel that it's time, I could change a lot of these cards and make a brand new deck. And so this is definitely a deck that will never, ever leave my collection. It is one of the decks that I think needs to stay with me. And then I ended up purchasing, I didn't think I was going to purchase it because I thought the price was ridiculous, but I got the book. So, and so if like the book were here, I would also take the book. And so that counts as well. Now, I think people will probably be mixed on this one, but the Fedor Pavlov Tarot, I will tell you guys that this was a complete surprise. This was not on my list at all. And in fact, it was on my shelf, and when I was pulling the ones that I was thinking of keeping, I just kept looking at it. And I just like, something in me just decided to like pick it up. So I did. And I'm glad I did. I love the book. I think the book is really well done. There's not a whole bunch, but there is so much packed in such a short page or two that it just made the cut. It just did. And then let me tell you, I love these backs. These are some of my favorite backs. Very simple, but I love them. I love them. But it was the imagery that really got me. I think the imagery is stunning. I think it's very unique. I like his art style. I love his color choices. I like how the book talks about why he added, removed, or modified something compared to the original Rider-Waite-Smith. And oh, I love this. Look at that cloak, that like olive green almost. It's not olive green, but it's close to it. And so the gilding, come on, really good, really good. So I was like, okay, this has to go. And you're like, really, Benny, against like the other cards? And the answer is like, yeah, really, you know. And since it's my top 5, I get to choose which ones I want. And this is one of them. All right. Now, okay, guys, I know that some of you are going to be like smacking your hand against your forehead. Some of you jaws are going to drop. Others are going to be like, I don't get it. But the Rainbow Tarot has to be in there. I mean, look at the cover. That's amazing. Remember I told you I felt like I really needed an LGBT deck, and so this one couldn't make it. This one did. Um, and when I look at the backs, guys, I can't help but smile when I look at this deck, and no other deck makes me feel like a kid again. That makes me feel young again than this deck. I just can't help but smile when I open this deck up and I look at the imagery. I mean, this is my childhood right here. Like when I look at this, I think of carnival rides, cotton candy, popcorn, you know, like playing out in the yard with my friends. I mean, this is just such a joyful deck. I like the colors, and I'm big on colors. Artwork. The artwork is so unique. Each card stands on its own. They can convey so many. Like this is the kind of deck that whatever mood you're in, you're gonna see it. Like even if you're having a tough day, you're gonna see it. Look at that. Like right there, there it is. You know, and the thing is with these colors, they can make you feel happy, sad, neutral, but they will draw emotion. Oh, look at that. And this was inspired by what she says, the queer community. And so, for those reasons, this deck is staying. It ain't going nowhere. All right. So, what's the fifth one? Well, the fifth one, I can never pronounce this. I can never pronounce this. It is the Ocultati Tarot. I'm like, does it have to really be that hard to pronounce? But this is a deck. When I saw it, I had to have it. And I will tell you guys, I really did not think that this deck would ever cross my path because so few were manufactured years ago. I did a tarot walkthrough on this one, so all those details that I don't have memorized by heart are in that video. But there was no way. Like, this deck is a no-brainer. If there was a fire and I could only have one deck and that was it, this is a deck I would choose. Now, I did get this deck modified. The borders were cut, but you know what? I don't care. I do not care. Excuse me. I don't care. So, this is the original size. That's huge. And so, all the borders were cut. And so, it's that much significantly smaller. And let me get a tarot size card. And this is a traditional tarot size card. It is huge. Even trimmed, it is huge. But I love it. And there are so many things that I love about this deck. I love that the majors are all black and white. And actually, it's a hangman. I love the artistry, the sketchings, the gradation from white to black. For me, there's a lot of emotion. Oh, look at this sun. I think, literally, this is my favorite sun of all time. I cannot think of another sun that moves me and does not make me cringe, because let me tell you, most of them make me cringe, than this deck. It feels very, I don't know, it feels very spiritual to me. And so I also like that the minor cards are different colors. Like, and I just like that the people, I'm gonna say people, but they're like elves or something. We have some elven mermaids in here as well. And they're very different. So like this, so the pentacles, these creatures, people, whatever you want to call them, have a lot more hair than this one does. I like the fact that their feet are you know, not proportioned to the rest of their body. You know, this clan, we'll say, is a lot more muscular. They're a lot more muscular than the others. But I love the proportions of the body. I just find them so very interesting. And then let's get a blue one. Oh, and so these are the mermen. And I want, you know, and I really like also the fact for me, because, you know, unfortunately for men, there are not a lot of male decks compared to female decks. And so this really feels very masculine, but it does feel that it has its feminine qualities, which I also really like. Look how thick this is. And so this deck isn't going anywhere. This deck is staying. This is forever. So so what do I do about her? So something has to give, right? So Terra Volatile, it's staying. The Rainbow Tarot, she's staying. So it's between these three, right? And staying. So it's down to these two, right? And so how do you choose? So what I did before was I pulled the cards out. I pull the cards out, right? So that's what I'm doing, pulling the cards out. And we're gonna see what speaks to me. And I can already tell, I already know which one's gonna stay. As much as I hate to lose one of these, one's gonna have to go because Mary has to stay. And so I've made the decision right here, right now, and I thought it was gonna be harder, but it really wasn't, that I'm gonna keep the Tarot of the Abyss. Yep, I'm keeping the Tarot of the Abyss. There's something, I just love that there is so much in each card, but it doesn't feel crowded. I just know that I would use this deck a lot, more than I would the Fedor Pavlov Tarot. And so it's staying. So I'm gonna flip the camera over, and so one more time, I'm gonna keep, these are my decks right here. These are the decks that I'm keeping, guys, all these. So let me flip the camera over and I'll have some parting thoughts. One moment, please. Okay, I'm back. Man, that was really, really rough. And even like during the video, I had to like make adjustments on what I would really take. And so this whole process was really interesting to me. I was really surprised that I had such an emotional reaction to letting go of the mysteries of Mary. I thought I had made my decision, but I don't know, something in me just said that I couldn't let it go, and I think it's a big part of it is that she is a big part of my spiritual practice. She's a big part of my childhood, my young adulthood, and like letting her go was like losing something really deep and close, and I just couldn't. But I think the other ones I think are very eclectic. They fit every part of what I need in a collection and do multiple things that what other decks may do one or two things of. What I'm really curious to know, and I really, really want to know, what decks were you surprised that I kept? What decks did you think, I cannot believe he kept it? Like, why? What decks you were like, oh, okay, yes, I would save that deck too if I had it. I'd also like to know what your 5 ducks would be. I think that would be interesting. I'd like to see what people's choices would look like. And with that, those are the 5 ducks that I would save in a fire. Yep, I'm happy with my decision. 5 ducks from a fire saved. I'm happy. All right, y'all have a good night. Bye.